All right, we potentially have some insane news, if true, but this is probably one of the biggest asterisks that exist when it comes to disc golf news. So with that, let's get into it. And in case you missed it, I actually just became a seller for Discmania, and I'm currently selling Gannon Buhr MD1s. I have a couple left because a lot of people did actually buy them, and I'm really appreciative of that. But if you want to pick up one for yourself, be sure to check it out on my site. It would really mean the world to me. All right, so of course, if you ever glean any piece of information from Reddit, you already know that you're down a dark, slippery slope that is leading down to nowhere. But with that said, there was one commenter who does seem to be a bit of a troll, which I will not even say his username because he's probably trolling. But if this leak is true, it is probably one of the funniest leaks in the entire offseason of 2024. That being that Ricky's caddy actually leaked that Eagle is signing with MVP. Now there are just so many funny factors about this. First one being, we already kind of knew this from like a month ago, like months and months ago. So the fact that there are quote unquote leaks about Eagle going to MVP feel like the most hilarious thing because it is hardly a leak when it feels so set in stone. But according to this, he actually found out from a top 3 pro in the world, aka that player being Ricky. And what's even more funny about this is that the actual caddy for Ricky, Fernando Leal, who seems like a great guy, I don't want to besmirch his name, he seems like a dope, fun guy. He was actually mentioned in the thread about this whole situation, being like, I don't know why everyone thinks I have this information. I know I definitely don't. Nobody tells me anything of importance, and literally states, last person we are worried about is Eagle and what he is doing. But to potentially make this troll actually have some amount of weight, of course it was quoted to Brodie, stating, I can't make this stuff up, Ricky's caddy leaking player movement. And then Brodie actually gave it some more credence by saying, I hope this isn't true, at Wysocki Bomb, I thought you were against leaking contracts. So obviously there's a little bit of conflict in there. I just don't know if this like near assumption that this is at all accurate is worth mentioning Ricky, but Ricky does defend himself saying, that is not me or a manager, I have no idea who this account is. And Ricky replies, the account is claiming your caddy is telling people about players' deals. And then we actually get confirmation about who the caddy is, aka Fernando Leal. And once again, he seems like a great guy, definitely not the troll-esque Redditor that was quoted as saying, I know this information. Obviously there's just so much funniness to this situation, and I really don't want to give any credence to the Redditor. I want to definitely let it be known that this information is hardly hard evidence. It is the softest of soft evidence. But if there is in some possible way a situation where Ricky told some guy and that guy did post on Reddit about the MVP announcement, that would just be so funny. But looking at the Redditor's history and seeing how he has already deleted some comments, it seems very likely that this is just a troll trying to troll. His history seems to be very consistent with kind of an angry sports Redditor. But I just thought it'd be kind of fun to go over how hilarious this whole situation is, where you have people mentioning Brodie about the whole announcement of Eagle going with MVP, and then him mentioning Ricky about leaking, even though he didn't probably leak, and then Ricky has to defend himself, and then the caddy has to defend himself, being like, I don't know anything. And it truly feels like only something that happens in disc golf. Obviously I know everything in sports gets leaked, and that's like part of the fun, but it feels so small beans in disc golf because everyone really knows Eagle is probably going to MVP. If he goes anywhere else, I would be way more shocked. But obviously, if all signs lead in a certain direction, it is probably going to be that direction. But with that said, what do you guys think about this? Do you think any credence should be given to troll Redditors? I know the answer is no, but it's just so funny. But with that said, if Eagle does actually go with anyone else, would you guys be 10 out of 10 surprised? Or would you honestly think that this was all just kind of like a fan theory that everyone thought he was going to MVP and it actually ended up being something else? I would love to know all your guys' theories. It is just so funny to be invested in the disc golf world right now. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope we actually get some real news about Eagle and where he is going probably this week because the season is starting very soon. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Wild Runs, signing out. Peace.